Hello, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, tall bakar, whatever time of the day that this video finds you. I did this lesson earlier on the Sabbath day, and I said, this sounds like, and the reaction that I received was a real good one. So I said, you know what, let me go ahead and do it in its entirety. So I'm going to do this. It's going to be a 20 to 30 minute. If I'd be surprised if this goes 30 minutes. But I'm going to do a lesson called the Black Arabians. And I want to show you in this lesson that it is impossible for the current image of Arabs that you see in the Middle East, that these could be the original Arabians. So what we're going to show you is we're going to show you some artifacts that go as far back as the 1800s that show that the Arabs were the Ishmaelites, because you're going to hear this word Ishmaelite and Arab, and it's basically one and the same. Arab is a nickname for an Ishmaelite. Ishmael is the son of Shem, and so these were black people. And I'm not going to describe the people. I'm going to let you look at the artifacts. And what you're looking at on the screen right now. Oh, let me slow down. My name is Lee Cummings. I'm a linguist. I read, write, translate, and speak ancient Aramaic Hebrew. I teach history. I'm a professor, scholar, and I teach the scriptures. Now, what you're looking at on your screen right now is what is this? This is it's a real ancient manuscript called the Samaritan Pentateuch. And these brothers, they maintained our father's alphabet and the language, and they tweaked it just a little bit, where it don't look like the Moabite stele or the Tel Dan stele or the Karatepa stele, the Buchan stele. But this is a good training wheel here. So anyway, this manuscript right here, and we're going to use this to compare. You're going to get a better understanding of what type of man this Ishmaelite or this Arab was. I'm going to pick this story up in the 16th chapter of Genesis. I'm going to start reading at verse 1. And I'm going to skip around a little bit. Now, 16:1. Now, Sarah, Abraham's wife, bare him no children. And she had a handmaid by the name of, actually an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. Now, if you know Hebrew, the Hay in Hagar, H-A, is a prefix, and it means the. And her name, the rest of the name, G-A-R, is stranger or sojourner. So her name was really an adjective. It described the woman, that she was a stranger or a sojourner. So they called her Hagar. Interesting, ain't it? Verse 2, Sarah said unto Abraham, behold now, Yahweh has restrained me from bearing. Anaki Althah etahi. I pray to you, go in into my shift hall or shift chaw, which is my handmaid or my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abraham hearkened to the voice of Sarah. And Sarah, Abraham's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Mitzrayim, or the Egyptian, after Abraham had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her husband Abraham to be his Ashtar. The Aramaic Hebrew word for wife was Ashtar. And you know what? And I didn't want to highlight that. Is that in here? No, I don't want to go. I don't want to do all that. I had to go to another page and come out of this. But anyway, he gave it as a what? Ashtar. Now, what came forth from this union? Let's see. I don't want to read all this because it's a lot. But eventually, you read the story on your own, but eventually, Sarah ends up beating Hagar up. I guess, after Hagar had the baby. Let me read that to you. Check it out. I'm gonna read verse 5 just to show you these two women got into it. And Sarah said unto Abram, my wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid unto thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord Dan or mishpat between me and thee. But Abraham said unto Sarah, behold, the maid is in your hand. Do to her as it please. And when Sarah dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. Sarah put it on shorty, and she ran away. Now, we're going to pick the story up. The angel go find her. I don't want to read it. I just don't like. I'm going to skip down to verse 10. Yeah. Let's go to verse 8. All right. Actually, I'm going to pick up at verse 7. Anybody that know me, you know I do this. Verse 7. And the angel of the Lord found about a fountain of water in the wilderness by the fountain in the way to Shur. And I'm going to skip down some more. Verse 9. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, return to thy mistress, submit thyself under her hands. 10. In the Malachi of Yahweh. Malak is angel, and the Lord is Yahweh. And the angel in the Malachi of the Lord said unto her, Anaki Rabba, I will multiply that Zaro, miad, exceedingly. The word that we use for exceedingly was miad, like the word mad, M-A-D. It said, well, he mad for real. Well, in the original language, mad means to be exceedingly. And Zaro, Z-A-R-O, is seed. He says, an angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply that seed exceedingly, that it should not be numbered for multitude. The angel of the Lord said unto her, behold, Hain, like we say, like the Greeks say lo, L-O. We say Hain, the hay and the nun. Behold, thou art with child, and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thine affliction. And I don't expect you guys to be able to read this unless you might be a scholar. You stumbled on the video, and you could be a witness that what I'm teaching today is true. He says, "Walk, call raw talk," which means and call at Shemu, S-H-M, his name, and the wall as a suffix is Shemu, or Shemo. His name, Yishmael. So if you looked at it as the Yod as a prefix, it says he, Shemo. He hears Al. He hears two. So his name actually did mean he hear. Okay? What verse was that? Now this is what I really want to show you guys. And verse 12 says, he will be a wild man. He'll be a wild man. And that's the translation that Yishmael translated has become Ishmael will be a wild man. But let me show you what the original text said about him. It says, Wal Hawa, and is Yah, he Ha'i. He Ha'i. Yah, he is. Or he be. Parahe Adam. Parahe in the original text means like a wild ass donkey. So the angel said he's going to be a Parahe Adam. Parahe is wild ass donkey, and Adam mean man. So according to the Malachi or the angel, Ishmael was going to be a wild donkey ass man. We got some brothers running around the ghetto right now who are wild donkey ass men, because any man that don't have no understanding of the most holy is a beast of the field. And so this Ishmael started out with a bad title, with a bad description. Perahe Adam, wild donkey ass man. Now check this out. Now that's what the book said about him. This is what he would be. You understand? But I want to go a little further than this. Now I want to show you an image of these Arab brothers. I want to get you the oldest one I got first. Let's go to this one. So I got to get a brand new share. Y'all bear with me. This one. We're going to get this dude right here. Now, this image right here is an image of the seed of Abraham. And this comes to you from the Emir Ludwig Dutch Bonham, I guess, Museum in London. Actually, I suspect it's a private collection. But anyway, you can see in 1855, this is what an Arabian looked like. Let me bring it back just a little bit. This is what an Arabian looked like in 1855. But as we down here in the year 2026 AD, or what the Gentiles call 2026 CE. Same thing. CE and AD is one and the same. This is what the Europeans knew an Arabian to be. So something happened. So what we'll do is we're going to go, I'm going to take 15 seconds, black time, because 15 seconds could be 15 minutes. It could be a whole day. It could be a 30. You'd be like, hey, you told me 15 seconds. That was 3 days ago. You know how we do. Let's go to Genesis 17 and 9. And let's see what the book say. Genesis 17 and 9. I want to pick up a conversation that the Most High is having with Abraham. Again, it's a short piece. And God said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my barith. Some guys say barith. Some guys say Brit. I say Brit because the Brits, the original Brits, the black Brits, who were Hebrews, named themselves after the covenant. So I always say Brit, but then I notice a lot of the guys on the internet that are speaking Hebrew, they say Barith. So the book said the Lord entered into a covenant with Abraham, right? Check it out. It says, thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore you and your seed after you and their generations. This is my covenant which you shall keep between me, you and every seed, and thy seed after thee. Every man child shall be mul. The word mul means to be circumcised. And it's kind of odd. It's really, it's spelled ML, just like you would spell the word for male, MALE. If you drop the A and E, you get ML. That is a spelling, excuse me, that's the Hebrew spelling for the word circumcised. It is pronounced like a jackass, like a mule. Instead of spelling it MULE, the spelling is MOOL, mul, and that means to be circumcised. And verse 11, and you shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin. Now you ain't gonna believe what the Hebrew word for foreskin is. It is eral, or oral. If some of you all know the word oral, you know, your mouth, oral, and whatever goes along with that. Well, it's pronounced eral or oral. That means to be uncircumcised. And what's really odd is we got a lot of brothers in our society that are still not circumcised. 12. He that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in your generation. He that is born in that house or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of your seed. So now the Lord, he gives Abraham the sign of the circumcision. And what do the scripts say? When they was talking about the circumcision in the New Testament, Jesus said, the Lord that Moses didn't give you circumcision. He said circumcision is of the fathers. And this is what he was talking about. It was given to Abraham first. I'm going to skip down. I'm not going to read all this. I'm going to skip down to verse 18, because the subject is these black Arabs who were missing from history. Somehow, after 15, they were black all the way up to 1570, 1500s. And after the 1500s, something happened. And I'm going to show it to you. Where am I? Anyway, I'm at Genesis 17 and 18. And Abraham said unto God, "Oh, that Ishmael might live before thee." And out him, God said, "Sarah thy Ashtar, your wife, shall bear a son, Bon or Benny. Indeed, thou shalt call his name Yitzchak, or Yasahak, Yitzchak, Isaac. And I will establish my Berit, or my Brit, my covenant with him for an everlasting Olam or Elam, everlasting covenant with his seed after him." And as for, now watch this. And as for Ishmael, no, and I have to insert this into the communication or the dialogue that we're sharing, even though you're on the other side of the screen. Ishmael became the father of all the Muslims. He, Nebuchadnezzar, Kedar, they started that Islam thing. But in the very beginning, the Muslim was circumcised. Why? Because he was a Shemite. He was the seed of Shem. Watch this. He says, and as for Ishmael, I heard you. Behold, I blessed him. Now I make him fruitful. I will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he begat, and I will make him a great nation. Who do you suppose these 12 princes are that were supposed to come out of Ishmael? Let me see how many of you guys can spell. OPEC. OPEC. The 12 OPEC oil producing nations. That's what it stands for. Oil producing nations or countries. So these 12, the Lord had already prophesied that 12 princes would come out of Ishmael, this black Arab, and they would be princes in the earth. Now, something happened. Here's a picture, 1855, of an Arab. This is what the Europeans do an Arab to look like in 1855. I'm going to stop this share so you can see this picture right here. This is a picture from 1884 of a black Arab. So if we just were to do a time capsule and just walk these brothers down, you can see that so far in the early 19th, well, the latter part of the 19th century, in the 1800s, the 1880s, these guys were still black. Now, again, this artifact comes to you, if I'm not mistaken, same place. It's called the Gaza Smoker, 1884, Ludwig Dutch Bonham. It's either going to be in a museum or some sort of national or somebody's private collection. And generally, most of the true history of our world is in these private collections of the so-called elite whites. But anyway, make a long story short, again, this is what an Arab looked like in the 1800s. Now, let me see if I got another artifact that I like to show you guys. Yeah, I want to show you this one right here. This right here is compelling. This is compelling. I don't know, how you view the truth, but I was always taught that an image is better than 1,000 words. This picture right here, it's called the Arab Man photographer, is Bertram Thomas, Bertram Thomas, and it has a date on it of 1932. So far, the seed of Ishmael is black, going almost coming down into the year 2000, but something happened. They got not only did they get blotted out of history, it's almost like history bent, like you bend light around an object. If you bend light around an object, guess what it does? It disappears. So it appears that not only were they blotted out of history, that history went right around. It's almost as if these brothers never existed. That there's a reason for this, and we're going to show you what it is. If I go to Genesis, the 9th chapter, the Lord had a hand in this. There's a prophecy. And this is why the black Arab disappeared. It says in Genesis, the 9th chapter, in the 27th verse, God shall enlarge Japhet, or Japhet. He shall dwell in the tents of Shem. Wait a minute. Japhet is the father of the Europeans. And the book said he's going to dwell in Shem's house. He's going to dwell in Shem's land. He's going to drive Shem's cars. He's going to sell Shem's oil. He's going to dwell in the tents of Shem. That's all a tent is. It's all of that. All the things that belong to you is part of your tent. So if this man is no longer in the land, then who is the white Arab that's running around the world, running around Arabia, posing as the black Arabian? Let's go see. Let's go see. Who is this man? I'm gonna drop the share on this, y'all, and I'm gonna show you something else. This time it's gonna be something that's it's not gonna be an artifact this time. It's gonna be more of a document. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna share this now. Now check this out. So the question is that I raised. My question was, what became of the black Arabian? And to understand it, you have to go back and look at the Ottoman Turk Empire. The Ottoman Turk, it says to understand the Ottoman Turks' deportation of Arabians and replacement with Turks in 1579. These are the points. The Arab population were often seen as less loyal to the empire. The deportation was part of a broader strategy to Turkify the region. Turkish settlers were encouraged to move into Arab lands. This move led to significant demographic and cultural changes in the region. So you can see there's an answer for every question. Them brothers that I just showed you, the artifacts of the black Arabs, them brothers got replaced. They got replaced by this person right here. Let me see if I got my share screen on, make sure of it. So you can see this. This is it's unbelievable. This is what this image of a Turk, a white Turk, comes to us from the British Museum, or actually the British Library, and it's called White Turkish Female Woman. And this is what a Turk looked like in ancient Turkey in the 1500s, in the 1600s, the 1700s, 1800s. And these are the people that have replaced the black Arabs all over Arabia. Now, I'm gonna show you something, and then I'm gonna end this. I want to go to where I want to go. I want to go to the 25th chapter of Genesis, because there's a phraseology that I'm interested in reading. In that 25th chapter of Genesis, and there's a word in here that Ishmael named one of his sons. 25th chapter of Genesis. Genesis 25, and here it is. Genesis 25 and 13. And it reads like this. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael. Remember, Ishmael, Arab, Arabian is all one and the same. Arab is the nickname for Ishmael. These are the names of the sons of Ishmael, the Arab, by their names according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael was Nebijah and Kedar. I just want to stop there. Kedar. The word Kedar, there are two words for black in Aramaic Hebrew. And you have to understand that the ancient Arabs spoke Hebrew. And if you went back and you compared Arabic words to Aramaic words, they're almost identical with their meaning as well. But anyway, make a long story short, the word Kedar in Aramaic Hebrew means black. There are two words for black. One is shahar, or it could either be pronounced shahar, or it could be pronounced kachar. Depends on who's saying the word. Ashkenazis, they always like to put a k. They always like, like they got something in their mouth. But it's really shahar and kadar. And so this boy must have been so black that he was named Kedar. And I'm going to show you something else in the book of Solomon. And then I think I'll close this. I'm going to close out with one more scripture to give hope to everybody that has lost their land to the land grabbers. They love going in. It's one thing to go in and take a man's land, but at least let the man have his history. You know what I mean? Song of Songs, the first chapter. Remember what I said. But I'm going to read verse 5. Song of Songs 1 and 5. I'm picking up at verse 1 first, just for the subject matter. The Song of Songs, which is Solomon's. So he wrote this. In verse 5, he's speaking in the first person because he starts off with Anaki or Ani, which is I. I am what? I am Shahar, or I am Kedar. I'm black. But comely, O you daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. What color were the tents of Kedar? The tents of Kedar, they were black. And that is a fact. The tents of Kedar were black. That is fact. So the word Kedar, so that's what the reason why the Most High put, I can't say that because I don't know the man of Elohim or the man of Alhe or Alhi. But one thing I do know is, the haters of the truth, they have published these Bibles in the New English version and the New English translation. They took black out of the scriptures and put dark and colored. But here in the original text, Solomon describes himself as the tents of Kedar. So, but Kedar, they didn't realize that Kedar meant black, or they would have got rid of that as well. So I'm going to read you one more scripture. Leviticus 25 and 8. These people are over there inhabiting these people's lands, and these people don't realize that the Lord can put the fix in, that everybody got to go back home. Watch this. Leviticus 25. I'm going to pick up at verse 10. Leviticus 25 and 10. And you shall hallow the Hamishim, Shanhai, and proclaim for the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land and to all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a Yabali, a jubilee unto you. And you shall return what? Every man into his possession. And you shall return every man into his family. In the jubilee, when Yahweh comes back, or Jesus, everybody that lost their lands, the American Indian has lost his land to the Europeans. The Aborigines in Australia have lost their lands to the whites that invaded. South African brothers got their lands back before the Jubilee when they kicked the Dutch out. But this Indian in America, the original black Indian, he's going to get his land back. So the white Italian has to go back to Italy. The white German has to go back to Germany. The white Anglo-Saxon in North America has to go back to Anglo-Saxon, which is, he came from north of Germany by the southern shores of, but anyway, make a long story short. And I'm going to go to verse 13. And in the year of Jubilee, this Jubilee, you shall return every man unto his possession. This, if you see this video and you like the video, subscribe. Also, tell somebody to look at this video. We got to get back to teaching, y'all. We got too much madness going on, foolishness and folly going on the internet, where a lot of these brothers all of a sudden it appears they're more interested in the bag than they are in teaching. So my name is Lee Cummings. You can find me at thenegroquestion.com, the Negro Question.ecwid.com, Amazon. Hey, hit me up. If you need to get in touch with me, you get my phone information from the bookstore. Give me a call. God bless you. And like I always like to say, see you at the finish line, because I'm going to make it across that line. I want to see you there.